here with part 5. We're going to jump on next to Gemini, and this is we've already done Leo, Sagittarius, we've done Pisces, we've done Aries, we've done Taurus. So these signs are in previous series of this reading, and you can find them on the main channel. Hopefully, eventually, once I come around to it, I can add them sort of in the bio box. So keep an eye out for that. Feel free to subscribe as well to the channel if you are new. And yeah, we tend to do some sort of like pick a card readings every now and then. Some special bonuses like this one, and also general monthly readings. So thank you guys for connecting. Let's clear the energy and ground. Let's get into it. Clear the energy here. The root chakra to the crown chakra. A side note here is that I'm channeling, so sometimes the energy can kind of come through quickly. I'm feeling the energy and then I'm sort of translating it. So we're going to be working with a few decks here, tarot decks. We've got this Lenormand deck, and it's called the cute little Lenormand deck. It is really cute. We've been working with this one, and we're also going to be working with the Gummy Bear Tarot deck, which is sort of like the Rider-Waite, but just they're gummy bears. So kind of cute. Let me share this link actually on Twitter as well. Side note, if you are a subscriber, but you're not already following on Twitter, I highly do recommend to check into Twitter. The tag is Alchemy and You, and yeah, because sometimes, yeah, YouTube is not really that dependable with the notifications. So just as a side note, also you might want to hit the bell icon to make sure that you do get notified if you are already a subscriber. So just a few things here. Let me see though. I'm going to post this on Twitter now so that people know we're live, those who are following on Twitter, and we're going to jump into it. Okay, Gemini will be first, and if you are yet again looking for Leo, Sagittarius, Pisces, Aries, Taurus, please check out the prior readings, and okay, we'll be on our way. Okay. Let's clear the energy on the ground. Get ready here. Great. Okay, let's shift it to you guys. Happy full moon as well. We're just about 1 day past the full moon. You may still definitely be feeling these energies for certain. It's a very intense full moon. This was eclipse as well. So yeah, the energy of the full moon eclipse can really sort of trance around even the timeline of a few weeks. You can really feel, I would say, come back to, yeah, these energies, and maybe even these readings of, if you were checking into the full moon readings, go back to those about a month down the line at the next full moon. Those messages might really sort of give different flavor in life to what you might have been experiencing, or it may sort of, you might see in a different way. So anyhow, nonetheless, let's get into it. Gemini. So much talking. Well, you're used to it, right? Gemini ruled by Mercury. Okay. Let's first get into partnerships. Okay, if you were in a partnership, Geminis, okay, right off the bat, I'm getting this feeling that it's like, okay, for some of you, you have a connection with somebody, but there's this clear connection point, but then there is like this sort of murky water vibe at the same time. It's almost like I get the sense that every time you get close to defining where you're at with this person, even like mentally, it becomes almost impossible to find the words to describe what you feel, to be able to really call it out in the way that you feel it. Maybe, you know, or maybe it's in terms of one-on-one with this person, I feel really comfortable. Then when I'm calling it out publicly, I feel uncomfortable about it. So I don't know what that's alluding to for everybody necessarily, but there just maybe is a little bit of this energy of feeling a little bit of sense of discomfort when it comes to officializing the feelings now. Some of you, this has been going on for a while. I feel like somebody here is getting to the point where they really want an answer. And it can be that person with themselves. Maybe they know they have this sort of like aspect of their character, or maybe the personality that makes it really hard to sort of pin in with the discussion. Maybe it's not the connection itself, but something in relation to the connection. That can also be, I'm getting that. Yeah, for some of you, there's a little bit of like a lot of going around. I see it like a cyclicalism almost, like going in circles and circles and circles. Like every time you want to sort of get down to the discussion about whatever it is that you guys want to do, maybe even, there's almost like this sort of path that opens up that deviates the energy. Let's clear it and ground and see here further though. King of Cups upright has come through. The Four of Cups in reverse. Aren't these cards so cute? Seven of Swords in reverse. Yeah, I feel like someone's coming through like saying, hey, like I think this should be obvious, but this is a standard of mine. This is sort of something that I feel like should have been addressed. I hear that as well. I think that there's a focus here on something maybe social, but also when it comes to matters of communication. Like, for example, maybe two people here had, you know, a really strong connection with one another, but every time they like go into a public setting, it's almost like, you know, what they shared in a private way like kind of gets like kind of weird or diluted. For some, this is really hurtful. I'm gonna be honest. This is something that someone wants like to kind of get down to. Yeah, the Sun in reverse. It's like, hey, we need to kind of like understand what we're doing here with this storyline. Now, the Sun is in reverse, Sun of Swords in reverse, Four of Cups in reverse. Like, this is a connection that we're really testing. Okay, both individuals, and it's a button pusher relationship. This is the feeling I'm getting. Like, there are things here in the connection that are clearly like kind of maybe, you know, well, maybe, for example, this is how you'll know this is your story. It's like one person's like, well, oh, I've never been in a situation where I needed to do this like this, or call this out like that, you know, and there could be parallelisms, right, on either side of the spectrum in the connection, where maybe that's true for both people, but just in different ways. So I think that there's a lot of like first time sort of steps here with the Four of Cups in reverse, King of Cups upright, but there's definitely a social component, and maybe someone's like, well, I don't feel comfortable calling that out yet. For example, maybe it's to my family. The Five of Wands. Yeah, somebody maybe has been feeling that they're almost starting to wonder, like, hey, like, if me and you, let's say, are talking about this privately, you know, why is it that it would change publicly? Like, why is it that we have a different sort of story that we tell to each other and that we tell publicly? So there's something of this feeling of like there needs to be a moment of breaking with that. I mean, we're breaking the silence as well, challenging that conversation of how we're having the conversation. I hear it kind of in this way. Eight of Cups upright. Well, there's too much pressure here. There's too much pressure when it comes to the patience of not hitting the button, the buzzer moment with each other of like, okay, so we're doing this. It's like, you know, something of this type of sense. The Tower leads out. It's too much pressure at times. It feels helpless. I feel somebody here is at their last, they're at their limit. The High Priestess upright, Queen of Cups in reverse. For some, this can be a work situation. Maybe, for example, this is something that one of the partners is going through, and but it's happening in their world. Maybe they're even like on the verge of getting fired. Hopefully not, but that's affecting the connection. And I feel like one person's needing an answer, another person's needing an answer. It's a lot of like boomeranging of different factors here. I feel that there's a complexity to what's going on. I don't think it's just like, oh, like I'm shy and I don't want to tell my friends that, you know, we're dating. There's a lot of different things possibly at play. The Moon in reverse. Maybe it's even a matter of timing with other individuals. It's like, well, I do want to tell my family that we're together, but this is an example, right? It's not going to resonate for everybody, but, you know, but it's like they're not ready for the news yet. It's something, it can be. So apply it to your situation, and of course always see how a message does fit with you, and maybe meditate on the energy of the messages that come through, see what resonates with you and in what way. Queen of Cups in reverse. Yeah, but somebody's very much at their limit. It's like, hey, no, I need something here. The Queen of Cups is feeling dry. She feels like she's hanging with nothing to almost to live for. I feel that almost for some of you. This is, It will be different situations, but somebody is waiting for someone to really reciprocate the love. Let's clear up the way that they feel it, the way that they know maybe that there is the potential to feel it. This is very challenging because I think that there is a lot of expectation. There are a lot of expectations. There are a lot of experiences maybe that you have even shared with this person in the past that are promising on one hand, but then on the other hand, it's like, but then, okay, but then where is it exactly? Yeah, the Lover's in reverse. Some of you, this is part of this person's nature, and you know that, and you're trying to be understanding. You don't want to push this person. Yeah, to kind of like move in any particular direction. Maybe, for example, you're even a parent, and this is a relationship with your child. I'm hearing that. And you want to encourage them to maybe move towards a certain direction with their, even with maybe their career, but it's like, I don't want to push them, you know, I don't want to kind of get involved, is what I'm hearing at that level and degree. For some of you, it's like, hey, I shouldn't have to tell you that it's, you know, it's making me feel some kind of way that you're kind of telling all your friends that we're friends, but then you're telling me that we're in a relationship. This is what I'm hearing as well. Okay, the Seven of Pentacles in reverse, the Lover's in reverse, Symmetry, the High Priestess upright. We have the Nine of Wands in reverse, Six of Cups, oops, upright, Two of Cups in reverse. There's a history here, you guys. Ace of Swords in reverse. All right, let's meditate on this for a second. Somebody wants an answer. No, they want to break the silence. Okay, they want to say, hey, look, I can't take maybe anymore. I can't take the, you know, the road in between these two. I have to know who you are and who I am and what we do together as one. The Two of Cups here. Somebody, there's some kind of challenge. Like, I feel like somebody wants, yeah, it's like they need to know about something very particular. Maybe even this is like someone's friend for some. It's like, hey, is this like more of like a friends thing between you two, or like, you know, what? Like, what is the extent? What's the extent? And again, a polite situation. Maybe the Chariot, the Two of Cups. Maybe this is even like somebody probing. It could be a friend of theirs, you know, and they're reluctant. Maybe you hear about that and you're like, hey, what? Like, why don't you tell your friend that we're together? You know, something like this. Strength, the Chariot. It's clear. This could be news that circulates, you know, and it's just kind of like, it's a little bit disenchanting. I see that. A little disheartening that we haven't hit, again, I'm here, the buzzer. We have the Wheel of Fortune coming through upright. I feel like Spirit is obviously somehow in control here. You know, there is a moment, well, we say like, okay, well, whatever's meant to be, but still there's a certain point where we say, okay, I'm feeling very frustrated. I'm itching my nose right there. Some of you here, there could be finances involved. Somebody is definitely under pressure, and I feel like, again, like I said, I don't think it's just one factor of like the love itself or like what we're feeling. I mean, it's a little awkward, we'll be honest. We have the King of Cups upright, Seven of Swords in reverse. It's like the love is there, King of Cups upright. It's like, why is it just that factor right there of the Seven of Swords in reverse? Like, why are we at least not, you know, giving an answer is what I'm hearing. Yeah, Ten of Swords in reverse. Ooh, on the Chariot, Ace of Swords. So somebody here, they're starting to question. I have to be honest. I feel like this person is starting to question. King of Swords on the Nine of Swords. That's it's on the 10. The Two of Swords on the King of Swords. Somebody is feeling that there's almost, for some of you, at a point, it's like they're wondering where's the hope. We have the Star coming through right then on the Empress. It's like, this is divine. I feel that the universe is holding this connection together. Truly, I do feel that way. It's almost like right when you're like, you know, sort of feeling very disenchanted, there is something that comes through that sort of, you know, brings the heart back into its beat. The Queen of Pentacles in reverse and the Two Wands of Bright. This is a connection, and again, that has a history to it. Some of you, you might have a business together. This may go back, way back, you know, childhood, the Hermit in reverse. There's definitely like some kind of hope. I hear that again, and that's what's keeping this connection sort of still throbbing. I hear that as well. Throbbing. Two of Cups, Six of Cups, yeah. I feel like the question is also, though, partly the past, and I feel like in a way it's like the history is what sets this definition of where we need to sort of accommodate what we feel in terms of communication in terms of matters of communication. Like the fact that we've had so much in the past, like why are we missing out on it now? It's not like, you know, I'm seeing someone telling somebody, it's not like we've just met like yesterday, you know, this is a history of past, and it's not just that factor, it's not just that fact, but more like, you know, it's like I would have expected so and so by now, like, you know, let's clear it. Yeah, I think that time is really affecting the way that you're able to feel united with this person somehow. I do feel that somebody's going through something karmic when it comes to their personal life. It could be their job, their career, something is just not moving forward, and that's affecting the overall connection between you. But okay, going back to it. What else? Somebody has a mole. Somewhere very particular on the body. Okay. Anyhow, let's get further. Let's see Gemini here. We're gonna continue to pull further with the partnerships. Gemini partnerships for December 2021. Somebody here, they're starting to think of how they can further test this space, you know, for the potential when it comes to the long term. It's like, what other sort of tests? I get that they need an answer. It's like, I just want to know, like, if there is no potential here, like, at least just tell me, you know? It's something like that almost. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, hitting the like button as well. This is live. We are here live recording. So those in the chat, thank you guys so much for chatting and sharing the space there with everyone in such a loving manner, and for hitting the like button as well. You guys, thank you for that. Thank you for your support. Now, what are we seeing? I feel like there are a lot of, someone feels misunderstood here. Okay, there's a lot of karma involved here, you guys. With the Eight of Cups and the Eight of Wands. It's like, just as much as you feel that the connection kind of bounces back together every time it feels like it's sort of falling apart, it's like, it also, though, feels also just as much impossible. Let's clear it and ground. It feels at times like, but it's impossible. It's like every time you try to hit a threshold point, it's almost like it bounces back a little bit. And I see that with the Ten of Wands, which sort of casts this apex point of, at times it's like excruciating pain. It feels like this relationship is almost like such a weight, and you're wondering, I see, you know, maybe both parties asking, like, you know, the heavens at a certain point, what am I doing here, you know? What is going on with the Ten of Wands mirroring the world, knighting the world, knighting then the Knight of Wands? It's like, it feels just like the first time, and then it feels like, where does time go? We've spent it all, you know? Ten of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Cups upright, we spent it all. The Ten of Wands upright feels like kind of heavy, but it's also relevant. I see that you feel that there's relevance in the pain and the experiences that you do have with this person. That's part of it. And maybe you're like, well, I am learning, I am growing, so I don't want to let it go. You know, I don't want to release it. Judgment in reverse, leading out of the King of Cups upright. Okay. This is vulnerability, you guys. This is vulnerability, but it's also, give me a second. It's nostalgic. Okay, somebody is holding on to something from the past. I don't get that it's like something particular. It's more like my rhythms, my patterns. Maybe they don't even realize, you know, the extent to which they are operating through some sort of guise of the past. Absolutely. Yes. To the point where it's like, you guys, this, yeah, somebody is stuck. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have the Ring, the Lily, and the Partner on the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, in line with this Eight of Wands, Eight of Cups. Oh my gosh. There is at times pressure. It's like, how do we say? I feel that somebody feels that there's a lot of potential here, but then there's this point where they need to take the jump. They need to take the leap. You know, it's like time to really act on what we feel. The active principle here is kind of a moment that stirs their nostalgia for something that they know they don't really necessarily need in their life. I'm hearing it like this, like in some sense. It's more like I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles with the, yeah, I'm seeing the Knight of Pentacles with the Page of Cups and the Ace of Swords. It's like, if anything, honestly, Gemini, they've made up their mind with you. Yeah, they want this with you. But there is a moment where it's like, fear takes hold, and literally, quite literally, with the Four of Pentacles of right coming through right there. There's a moment where the past becomes kind of sentimental to them. Like, but what about like my portrait? I'm hearing for some. What about my paintbrush? What about my personality? I think that they're overly associating at times, and who's to say that it's overly associated? You know, there's a reason for every experience, right? If it is a period of like, you know, maybe at certain times, like being very much in a moment of, you know, feeling even sensitive, like overly connected to certain things that are materialistic at times, there's a reason. I mean, there is a point of maturity. I see that. There's something that's pushing and prodding of question of maturity here with the Four of Pentacles. So we can't really say, why are you still 2 years old? They still got to get to 3, right? At their pace. But, you know, for some, this is a metaphor, possibly, right? But you take it as you will. Like, maybe, you know, yeah, you always take it as you will. Let's clear it. But a question of expectations, you know, there's just a point where you say, in some sense, I want to understand that you make this change and that I'm not making you make this change, and I'm not forcing you to take that step and, you know, move with pride in making it. Like, I don't want you to make you feel like you have to do this. Queen of Swords in reverse, the Five of Wands upright. I feel that somebody wants to give somebody the room to grow into what I mean, this person maybe sees it in them, but they don't want to be the factor that, you know, throws the ball in the hoop for them, if that makes sense. Yeah, the Hangman here in the Four of Pentacles, Now, for some of you, let's clear it. This person is releasing. I feel that process is ever more important, and actually at the portal, at the head of the portal. It's ironic because in some ways maybe it's like, well, why haven't you made this change yet? Why haven't we sort of said it yet? Why haven't we called it out yet? But it's almost like not so much about it, it's about what is released in relation to it. Let's clear it. Yeah, what is released in relation to this new way of telling the story out? I feel there's a lot of nostalgia here for whoever this is with the Lovers upright and the Eight of Pentacles in reverse. They really have to be brave with seeing the story as it unfolds, but through their own lens, in their own eyes. You know, this is somebody here who has a lot of potential, I hear that, to maybe make a move, and maybe this is even a business or a partnership you guys would like to strike a sort of connection on, okay? But at the same time, it's daunting, okay? And they are going through their own awakening. I hear that. The High Priestess in reverse. It's almost one of those moments where it's like, I can't explain the problem to you. You have to understand it, right? It's like, I kind of can see it, but it's up to you to yeah, let's clear it. Now, for some of you, let's clear the energy. It's the push. It's the moment of, like, you know, I'm hearing just saying yes. Maybe, you know, they're a little bit hesitant. 7 coming through. 7 of Pentacles. I feel for some of you, maybe it just comes down to the process through which you carry this out. It's like, well, okay, I don't want to do it like that. I would rather do it like this, you know? Something like that. I feel this person is easing into the conversation about whatever this is. They could have a Mars in an air sign. They may have Mars in a water sign as well, even an earth sign, or an earth house. Apply that to the houses as well. Like apply those elements to the house as well. There's a focus here on being real with themselves. I think that they need to, though, understand in some capacity, like, why they're doing what they're doing, and maybe they feel it. It's like, well, I know. It's like, well, you don't want to do this? It's like, no, I do. It's just, I have to be able to synthesize how I will do it in my way, maybe even. How I will do it. Maybe, you know, if you're in a partnership, there is somebody here who's sensitive maybe to the concepts of control. It's like, well, I don't want to feel like, you know, I'm caving in. I hear that I'm just doing it because I've been told to. Ooh, and that might not be literally like you're telling your partner to do something, but it can be in the sense of, you know, it's kind of like they want to look at the directions themselves. It's something like that. It's like, oh, listen, I read it. I can tell you. It's like they need to kind of fall into love. I hear that as well. Aw, you guys. Oh my God, I'm gonna cry. That is so sweet. You guys, they need to fall into love naturally. Like, they cannot believe in themselves yet until they maybe feel like they are themselves. Maybe they don't feel comfortable with themselves yet. This person loves you. This is for certain, Gemini. There's no question here. No. The Chariot upright and the Star with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like they know that you guys have had enough experiences, I feel. And this is mirroring the Magician upright here on the left-hand side. Let's clear it. The Chariot, Star, Wheel of Fortune mirroring the Magician upright. There is something that they've realized is sort of been guided, okay? It's like this is, everything is with reason. They're not doubting the connection. If they're stalling with making a decision here, they may even be a tad bit old-fashioned. Maybe they have a little bit of like, you know, a fear of even pain. I don't know, you take it as you will. There is something, and that could be like existentially met, where they realize, I'm about to grow up, you know? It's something like this. Like, some of you, yeah, I feel like you've been trying not to take it personally. And yeah. I'm hearing for some the dimension of awareness that is, let's clear. You don't want to fight them. I hear that. You don't want to, Let's clear it. Some of you, there is maybe, I'm hearing, I am falling in love. It's like, aren't you falling in love? It's like, I am, but I feel like, yeah, they hold themselves back. I'm here, I haven't like gotten the signal yet. They need to feel that they're starting the story at the right time. Maybe there is a focus on timing. Can we get another card on that, Spirit? Okay, they okay, this is very complicated, you guys. Yeah, I mean, this is going to be a full-length tarot card reading. You know, we got to get to the other signs. I feel bad. Sometimes in the lives, I'm like, gosh, I feel like everyone's waiting for the next sign, you know? But the Sun and the Seven of Pentacles, not to say, I mean, that could be a message for some of you. It's like they maybe they're thinking about a lot of other people in the context of this connection. It can be. They have that in the back of their mind. I mean, and not to say, I've spent hours on one sign and 2 minutes on the other in the same reading. What it's meant to be is meant to be. But, okay, I'm trying to be kind of focused with where we're taking the reading. Also for the sake of the reading. I don't want to overwhelm you because there's a lot going on here. I feel like you know, though, that there's a very complex side of the connection at times. The Hangman here, the Queen of Swords. For some, okay. I feel like some of you have someone on your hands who doesn't want to feel like they're growing up. They are scared of growing up. Maybe it's literally related to the concept of children. It's related to the concept of commitment. The Two of Pentacles on one side with the Knight of Swords, and I was hearing, as we pulled these cards, I was hearing why. On the left-hand side, we have the Empress with the Knight of Cups. I feel like it's just that factor of like, but I've just never done it, you know? It's something, okay, so let's get a Celtic cross. I'm hearing that song. Do you believe in love after love? It's clear on the nose. Ah, my nose is itching. Okay, there could be a focus on finances. That's your guides. Some of your guides wanting to get really clear message through about something there. Feeling pressure on the heart chakra. I feel like your guides are telling you don't take it personally if this person is not protecting. And you're like, the shore you arrive at, I don't know what that's alluding to. It's like, why do I feel like they're not waiting for me, or they're not, you know, they're not brokenhearted over me? I'm hearing that as well. Maybe you even were like, hey, okay, fine, I'm not gonna be doing this anymore. It's like you're feeling kind of like sad, like why do they feel like that's not important? I don't think it's that. I don't think it's a matter. Yeah, let's clear it. There's a lot more going on. It's, yeah. I feel there are a number of people here involved in this connection. Could be family. Queen of Cups will bring the deep past. Okay, this connection started really soon. I get it in the context of where this person is in terms of the theme that this connection brings up. In terms of maturity with themselves. Like, maybe you met this person quite young. Maybe you were the first real relationship. Maybe they're not yet even, they haven't gotten off the ground, maybe with their career. You know, there's a lot of, yeah, or even their schooling. It's like there's a lot of pressure. It's like, oh my God, I feel like I met the love of my life when I was like 12 years old. Something like this. That's maybe how they feel. So it's a matter of like the context. It's like this connection was brought through. It's like the wonderful connection, but the timing. Something about the timing. The Strength card upright in the recent past. It's not that it's bad or wrong. It's just, you know, there's a reason for everything, but it's challenging. Five of Swords in reverse. It can be seen as that. Something about the mall here. I see that. Five of Swords in reverse in the current state. Ten of Swords in reverse. And yeah, they don't want to get carried away with like feeling like that there's this is an impossible romance. I hear that. Relationship. Ace of Pentacles upright. I feel like it's a very tug of war. I get a strong twin flame energy here as well. We're only so far on twin flame. We're only so far on party. This could be a twin flame for some. That could be your confirmation. But this is for some. Yeah, it's a lot of push pull. It's like, okay, now I'm gonna neglect it. Okay, I feel like they're not into it. I'm gonna take a step back. Then it's like this person, the other person scurries back. No, we come back. No, I didn't mean it like that. It's like, then it's like, you know, then it's just like push pull. Yeah, 9 of Swords. But there's love. I hear that. Knight of Wands in reverse, but there are fundamental aspects of the connection. It's like, I see you trying to keep, there's aspects that are just really necessary, but you guys have different beliefs in when you carry the connection out in vertical ways. Traditionally, I hear that. Let's clear it. It's like, well, I think that people should first live together and then you should do that. It's like, well, I feel that people should, so let's clear the energy down the back. I feel someone's trying to avoid getting into a judgmental mind state when thinking about what you guys share. They don't want to, like, for example, go online and search, like, when do people usually do so-and-so? When does that all? They don't want it to get to that point. They want to hold the faith and the trust, but I get that it's really challenging even the personality. It's like, this is someone who says, hey, like, I'm the kind of person who needs this right here, right now. This is the kind of person who thrives on this kind of connection at this kind of time and in this kind of way. I think that there are definitely, I'm curious. I want to pull here a long-term spread. Oh, but the love is there, the attraction. Okay, so some of you I think it's a matter of, like, looking at what the relationship presents and then sort of getting to a point where you say, well, I can sort of juggle all of these factors. I think it comes down to bravery. What do I have to lose? When I feel like I have enough of a connection here with this person to say, I'm going to try and to kind of battle it. Maybe for some, it's a matter of patience, faith, time. It's like, okay, I thought we were going to do it by then. Okay, I have to be patient. All right, and this is a test for this person to really transcend their fears. I'm hearing that as well. And yes, and for some, with the Four of Pentacles with the Queen of Wands, there's maybe somebody's even holding something up physically, and this other person's trying not to take that personally. That could be a test for them as well. Let's clear the energy and ground. Let's get an extended spread. I want to see what Gemini we're looking at here in terms of, let's do years. So 2021. Okay. I feel like you feel like there was a lot of wasted energy, so-called. Not that it was a waste, but there was a lot that was happening, but not enough that was happening, if that makes sense. 8 of Wands in reverse, 2021. I feel like you didn't quite solidify really anything, but you did make a lot of progress. Maybe you learned about one another a lot. The Two of Pentacles are right. I feel like you're going to start really kind of getting down to it. I see, given that this is a partnership reading, but this is a general video, so you always want to heed your personal intuition and definitely watch your Venus sign and the sign that rules the house that your Venus is in. But the Two of Pentacles are bright. Even if, I'm going to give this example, let's say you have your Venus in your birth chart is naturally conjunct your Mercury, which is the ruler of Gemini, then even if your Venus, let's say, is in Aries, if it's conjunct your Mercury, then watching Gemini might also give further insights. This is a side note, but anyways, okay, Two of Pentacles, right. Given that this is a partnership reading with the Two of Pentacles coming through, I actually really like this. I like that we have this sort of simplicity, okay, because we're breaking it down. We're saying, okay, we're not so, like, reactive. I see this as well as being maybe a factor of the past. Yeah, let's clear it. There's a focus on pressure here with the Eight of Wands in reverse. Pressure, time. Okay, for some of you, you feel like something was exhausting, really, and I see you going back to sort of square one with the Two of Pentacles. Maybe this is something that you come down to, you say, well, oh, now we understand what we're talking about here. Now we get it. Now that's what we need to do. The Ace of Cups. I love it, Gemini, for you. This is impressive. This is 2022. I feel like you are guided through this experience. Trust your intuition. At times it might feel really, really challenging. It's going to test your faith here. Okay. Your belief in fate, Gemini. And that's the point. I'm hearing it like this. Yeah. It wouldn't be this connection if it didn't. The Fool upright. And this is a general video, so let's take it as you will. You guys have a new beginning on the horizon. For sure. What is some advice here? What is some advice? yeah, definitely, you know, talking about things in an objective manner where you say, hey, like, this is something that is kind of like important to me. I was thinking of kind of maybe kind of addressing this. What do you think? You know, kind of getting feedback rather than, you know, because I'm seeing like with that Eight of Wands reverse, there was a lot of like, you know, there's a lot of passion. It's understandable, but it's also a lot of the same kind of thing where almost it's like maybe the equivalent of swords energy is how I'm feeling it, where it's like, because we're talking about action, where things are going, but it's like the number 8, it's kind of repetitive. Like, we're talking a lot, but what are we getting down to, you know what I'm saying? So, with the Two of Pentacles, I also really like that energy because it comes down to balance. Okay, but in a way where it's not like, with the Eight of Wands, sure, we have 8. We can half that and say you got 4, I got 4. But it's a lot of the same. It's like, well, which 4 are yours and which 4 are mine? It's a lot more complicated. With the Two of Pentacles, okay, there's this moment where we say, I am going to own this and you're going to own this. We're going to come down to this and we're going to represent it. So there's a lot more... what is the word? Where you sort of have the courage to even call something out, like to commit to something, yeah. Wow. Judgment in reverse. Eight of Pentacles right. Yes, the Emperor right. Somebody here is working with a theme of control here. Maybe somebody here is the type to, well, okay, but let's clear it. Yeah, it's like, again, somebody could be very traditional here, very traditionally minded, like, well, that should have happened by now, you know, kind of thing, and then it didn't. And so this could be I feel for many of you who are watching this stack, if you are drawn to this reading and you were drawn to the stack, there comes that Eight of Wands again. This is a twin flame connection, but you take it as you will, maybe what you feel. The Eight of Wands is right. Yes, I feel this is the past mindset with the Emperor and the Eight of Pentacles. Like, maybe this is, yeah. And they're realizing that this is not realistic. Like, we have to be on equal playing fields as well. There's a humbleness with the Two of Pentacles. The Eight of Wands is a little bit competitive as well. We can see it's like anything you can do, I can do better, or I can at least do as well. And, you know, there's a lot of reacting and responding and, oh, you said that, okay, I'm going to say this. So I like the Two of Pentacles because it grounds a connection and it brings it sort of to this point where we're really establishing a basis for what we're mirroring to one another. The Eight of Wands, again, is a lot of this puff and air and smoke. So, yeah, I'm feeling guided to sort of helm that note out there. The Eight of Wands is right, but what else? What else? Yeah. There's a word I was looking for. When you take representation of something, like you sort of associate with it, you know, publicly. What is the word that I'm looking for? It's like you're no longer shying away. It's like you're sort of, what's the name? Like if somebody loses something, you know, and then someone comes into the classroom and says, who does this belong to? It's like you're willing to raise your hand. What is the word? What is the word? It's like you're kind of taking responsibility even. Accountability. Thank you. The Temperance card of Bright, the Hangman at Bright. It's like you're taking responsibility for what has happened rather than, I mean, I'm not saying that this is irrelevant to the connection. This is kind of necessary because it's proving. I feel like the Eight of Wands has told you both that you've created something enough to this point where, you know, it's like, whoa, we did the Eight of Wands, bro? There's something here, right? I mean, sometimes it's like even that moment where it's like love-hate. You know what I'm saying? It's like this can even be the range of experiences. It's like, wait a second. Like, and this might even be the point where someone realizes, whoa, I really have something here with this person. Yeah. It's like they maybe feel like, well, I've never gone this far, and you know, with somebody else, I've never had maybe even this many sort of discussions, this many fights or arguments. Even I'll say that for some with the Eight of Wands, it's like, you know, there is a moment, and it is mirroring Temperance. It's the Page of Wands in reverse. Somebody maybe realizes, hey, I'm learning from this experience, and that tells me that this is worthwhile to me. I feel like it's the type of thing where they say, well, if I were to step back, something wouldn't feel right. I feel like I'd be walking away from a journey that I take with myself, but alongside this person. Wow. This is, you guys, for some of you, absolutely. This is a twin flame. I'm getting it strongly here with the Three of Cups on the Eight of Wands, on the Emperor. There could be some challenges of thought to religious ethics, even dogma rules. Let's clear it, yeah. Like, it's the type of thing where it's like, okay, so is that your issue then? Is it this factor of religion? Okay, then, all right, then we'll say goodbye. And it's like this person is looking at them like they don't want to say goodbye, you know? It's something like that. So they realize that there's something more here, that it's not just the Eight of Wands. And you got the Hangman, Temperance. You guys are definitely guided in this connection. It's not random. Again, I feel like every time you guys are just kind of let you magnetize back to one another. So it's interesting. Even through the chaos, in a way, there is some kind of magic here. We have the Magician coming through right there on the Hangman, sitting next to the Eight of Wands. Some of you feel, oh, the Star, upright. Some of you feel like you've understood yourself more through this experience, and you feel like, some of you know you're holding out for that Two of Pentacles. You know that that's where you're going with this person. I'm gonna say that. You feel like, hey, I feel like we do have this potential. And in the back of your minds, I feel like you both have that in mind. And I feel like if that is the case, if that's what you both have in mind, even especially, we'll say, even in the beginning of the connection, I feel like you both know this. You know this is special. You know this is something more than just like, you know, an argument. I'm hearing that as well with the Eight of Wands. You get to this point where you say, this is the magic in us. This is what we fight through. I'm hearing that to create something more. Yeah, and I see it as like you looking at this as something that you need to work with. It's not something you walk away from, but you work with this as a sort of connection point even. Yeah. So your challenges and your so-called differences are very helpful in this case, I see. Which is interesting. With the Two of Pentacles in reverse for some of you, and this might not be everybody's message, but the Two of Pentacles in reverse with the Star upright, okay, you feel like there's meaning even in the littlest of the challenges. And even the meaning that you give to the big challenges, even if the feeling is so subtle. Okay, where we say, well, whoa, this feels like it's not working out at all. And then you zoom in and you're like, okay, there's something so simple in the connection that reminds you, hey, no. It's like the dog with its owner. It's like, nah, the leash just feels right. It's like, I don't really want to not go home. You know, it's something like this. Let's clear it. They can never feel, this is for some of you, your connection is so strong. I'm willing to bet this. I'm willing to bet this. Your connection is so strong with this person that they cannot see themselves, you guys, in any other scenario. It's like, if I see it like a ribbon. Sure, we can bring it together and create the bow, but sure, we can also undo it. But it's still, you know, what is it really? The ribbon? If we have the end point and the other end point, and there is a mirroring here, you guys. Yes, the Two of Cups. We just literally split again right there to the Two of Cups. Some of you, that's part of this, yes, is that you realize that this is a really important connection, and that's the freaky part for some. Some of you, yes, for the Four of Cups, it's like, I know, oh my gosh, I know. And you relate. Some of you may run away from taking the next step. Two of Wands, Ten of Pentacles, the King of Wands. There's there's a contact here, but I feel like Two of Pentacles in reverse, that will turn right side up 2022, and that might be something financial even. I feel like the circumstances will just be so much more favorable to really kind of being able to create something worthwhile in this connection. So maybe whatever that means for you, maybe for example, it's like the fact that it was karmic, maybe whatever it is, maybe the industry that somebody was working in changes or something like this, you know? It gets clearer through. So, okay, let's get into here, Gemini Singles. Gemini Singles. Let's clear the energy and crown. Some of you have something in mind, I see that. You're trying to be professional about this, though. I hear that. Let's write the timestamp, though. 44:40. some of you, there could be a connection maybe with like a co-worker. This is for some. You got maybe something in the back of your mind, but you're not sure, like, if it would be more. The Queen of Pentacles upside down in reverse. Some of you are trying to just keep things light. I hear that. Yeah. I see you trying not to make, like, more of something that... There's some factor that, yeah, you want to make it simple. Maybe for the sake of you both, it's like, well, I don't want to put them in a weird position. I don't want to put myself in a weird position. But I think that you feel like, but I just keep feeling like there's so much potential here. This is for some. Some of you are thinking of moving. There could be something there with that. Let's see. Some of you thinking of moving. Gemini, let's see here what holds for people that you already, let's say, know. I feel there's a factor here that's a little bit kind of like inappropriate, or it's just not, the timing is definitely not right for you as you feel it in relation to who you may already know. Let's see in relation to what might be, if there are anything coming through new with a move. Some of you possibly are contemplating here somebody from the past. I feel like, though, there is an issue that you have with this situation as well. There's something going on with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Judgment reverse, Seven of Wands in reverse. It's like you feel like something here is not, wouldn't allow you to feel truly independent. I see that, like, I see you imagining, like, well, what if I moved in with so-and-so, or like, what if I did this like this? I feel like there's something here that you feel is a little bit, strength in reverse, on top of that Queen of Pentacles reverse, like a little bit, not debilitating exactly, but there's a side to the space of kind of like, it feels a little bit, maybe even out of character for you with the Four of Cups. Devil in reverse, Ace of Swords leaning out. I feel like you've sort of decided that something is not really emotionally satisfying for you. It's like, maybe it's like this is someone who's like, hey, I'm always here if you want to, you know. It's like, well, I don't know. And this is a general video, remember that. Magician reverse. Yeah, you feel like maybe it's just not the right time, not the right place, not the right story, not the right spacing of the font, of the letters, of the, you know, there's something that maybe, you know, the type, the font type is like, there's something that you feel you're not really, you don't really want to be in charge of this, maybe even. Maybe you don't want to be responsible for whatever this is. I'm hearing that as well. So I feel like, Gemini, I don't see you pivoting around a lot when it comes to relationships. I feel like, let's clear the energy. I feel like you're kind of wanting to just look at what you have going for you right now and think about how you would like to perceive of your storyline. Maybe, you know, for example, like, you don't want to join forces with someone quite yet. Maybe you want to focus more so on your personal life. I hear that even with the Fool and the Eight of Cups, focusing more on like maybe even your sense of independence, your sense of even connection to your higher self. I hear that. Maybe some of you feel like you got drawn out a little bit. You got drawn out a little bit. Some of you wanting to take time to really think, like, what do I want to attract into my life? Maybe you've had a little bit of a few experiences here that didn't quite work out in the way that you would expect it. And this is reminding me, oh, we got the Nine of Cups. This is reminding me of I don't remember which, oh yeah, it was another reading that we did. I think it was Leo. The Leo reading. The Leo reading, yes. You didn't want to really kind of, I mean, right, take something for granted as well. It's like you want to kind of know what you're getting yourself into. I hear that as well. Interesting. Not sure what this will mean for everybody, but you want to move into things gradually, but that means you understanding, I feel, more you. It's like in the sense of saying, and always take it as you will, but I am hearing, I want to know what I really want, to be able to understand what I offer even. I feel like, for example, maybe you have like somebody here, the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, somebody here who you, or whatever this energy is, the Queen of Pentacles, somebody here who you feel like you can kind of understand in some capacity when it comes to potential in the long term, but there is a factor here of, well, I don't know if it's the time for me to commit to that yet. Yeah, I feel like there's something you feel you need to really understand further. Yep, definitely. The Querent on the Fool. And it's maybe just like an inkling. It's like, well, I don't know where exactly I want to go. It's just I want to understand, like, maybe, for example, you want to carve out your career more so. Some of you, though, like, there's something here that you would like to... I feel like you've got an idea in mind. Definitely when it comes to your career, and maybe you're thinking that you don't want to, like, it could be, for example, let's say that you have a business. Let's say you're an entrepreneur. Maybe you don't want to take on funding from, let's say, a VC yet. Maybe you want to, you know, this can be, it's like you want to understand what your vision is first before you sort of join forces, for example. Could be a question of long distance travel. Maybe some of you are thinking about, yes, and possibly for some, you're thinking of maybe even like what kind of partner you might be interested in, what the context might be to where you feel you could thrive with your partner. Bouquet. Yeah, it's like, who could I really see myself with? Like, who would really be kind of able to understand me? I'm hearing that as well, like where I'm at in my life. Oh, interesting. The Ship on the Clouds, the Snake on the Fool. I feel like some of you here are really wanting to think about your match, and you're not wanting to sort of settle into any space here quite yet with the Querent and the partner. With the Bouquet in between the two, it's almost like you want to understand your partner, your ideal partner, by way of understanding you. It's like, so it's almost like, yeah, it's like I need to understand myself kind of vibe. Child mirroring the Bouquet. Sandwiching here the Querent, the Whip. This can come down to sexual preferences even. It's like, well, is that really like, you know, is that really like my type? You know, it's something like this. The Moon in reverse, the Garden in reverse. I feel like some of you possibly have things that, you know, you're feeling it's time to explore, maybe, so even in your own psyche. I feel like you want to have time to air that out. It's kind of like, I don't want to eat my meal, I first need to like use the restroom. I know that's maybe a little bit of a strange, you know, but take it as you will. It's like, it's like I need to sleep first. I can't just like wake up again without sleeping, you know. There's a cyclical energy here. Maybe somebody here feels very young. It's like, truly, I mean, with the Fool and the Querent and the Bouquet and the partner, let's clear it. They want to feel comfortable. And maybe they don't feel comfortable yet with any sort of concept of partnership. Yet. It can be. Yes. Maybe they have an association with the concept of partnerships that is kind of a little bit daunting, like they usually are like this or like that. And maybe it's just the concept of commitment. It can be as well. So, okay, let's get into the next sign. Well, any other notes? Let's clear it. Let's do a Celtic cross really quickly here for Gemini Singles. And then we'll get into Gemini Twin Flames for December 2021. Remember to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and be sure to hit the bell icon when we end up reading for January. If we get over, well, this video is already so broken up into separate videos, but yeah, if you guys really like this series, then we'll jump into an extended in January. So, okay. Just a heads up. But obviously we'll do some other readings before then as well, and there could be further clues and even the general readings like November and December readings even. Tree, the Whip. I feel like somebody here, they feel a little bit uncomfortable possibly at times when it comes to commitment, because they don't know what they're committing with, or they don't know what they're committing to. The Snake, the Waves. It's like maybe they haven't thought about this yet. The Bouquet in reverse, the Bear in reverse, yeah. And if you're cross-watching for a Gemini who you're interested in, but they're not committing, it's like you're kind of friends with them, you don't know what's going on. This could be for some. Let's clear it. They're maybe very independent at times. They like to know what they're getting themselves so-called into. They want to know what the value of the connection is. I hear that with the House and the Garden. Okay, well, and the Lily, I mean, there could be a materialistic energy here, but that could be a guise. We did just see the Devil at the base of the Fool. For some of you, and it's kind of interesting because this might portray the beginning of the connection as well. That leads to partnerships, that leads to twin flames. Let's clear. Always take it as you will though, but you can also read these readings like that. So if you are in a partnership, maybe this was the beginning of the stages of your connection, and this might sort of be a clue as to who your twin flame might be. I'm hearing that as well. Take it as you will. What is the twin flame? It's always what you sort of, right? Only you can tell yourself what that means. The High Priestess in reverse, Knight of Swords in reverse. There's something here that somebody's uncomfortable with the concept of. For some of you, it's in relation to something related to the gender or a gender norm. They're not sure. There's a question of the feminine energy. It's almost like they associate the feminine energy as possibly something that is not pleasant. I hear that. Maybe, yeah, that can be for some. Maybe they like associate women as like their mother. I don't know. You got to take it as you will. Or something like this, or they see it in that way. Again, there could even be a traditional energy. This did come through in the partnership Gemini reading, so we'll see in the twin flame stack. Would be kind of interesting. Yeah, it's like I see this person is frozen. There's a blocked off energy here. Maybe they're just not comfortable with physical matters and they need time to get kind of more comfortable with that. So let's get into the next sign, twin flames. Here. And this also holds for, we didn't do the Celtic Cross, did we? Let's do that. We said we would do that for Gemini Singles. Yeah, so, okay. There is this feeling, if you feel like the partnership stack is describing what you've had visions of with someone you know who is a Gemini, if you're a cross-watcher, yeah, let's clear it. I'm feeling guided to read it in this way. They could be needing to sort of understand the direction for themselves. And that was very much the theme that came through in the partnership stack. So this might be a little clue as to, if you are at this reading and you have somebody in mind, but this is, again, a general message. It's not going to be for everybody in this way, necessarily. It's not going to be for everybody in this way. But it could be sort of like a heads up as to what the partnership might sort of be like in the next stages. So some people might already be in twin flame. Some people might already be in partnership. Some people might be still in the single phase where like you can just know this person, but you got an inkling about the connection, and it's like kind of weird because they're not quite connecting to you in that really truly vulnerable way, that truly vulnerable, intimate way. Okay. Now I want to I've been wanting to start a series of readings where we'll be able to further pinpoint and really get down to like furthermore, like what exactly are the indicators that this is your relationship. So that is going to be a series coming. Again, subscribe to get notified of when we do post that, because I want to be able, I feel that we are all sort of like on these sort of soul trains, and there are sort of, and there are sort of like experiences that we have that are sort of, there's a simulated experience here. So we have sort of metaphorical sort of patterned experiences, and I'm so curious to know how it sort of aligns, because maybe there are people who are in very similar sort of timelines as you. So we're gonna get into that though. It'll be sort of like a little bit of like a game show. So again, feel free to subscribe, hit the bell icon. We'll get into that when the time is right. And yeah, let's get into it. Let's clear the energy around though. Let's get into, probably get into that more in December, but yeah, so let's see. I'm going to feel guided to further clarify that reading style. Let's get into Twin Flames. Gemini Twin Flames. Some of you here have a little bit of a warning message. I get this. You are needing to call something out, and almost immediately you've got the whip and the coffin. Some of you feel like the relationship, there is a danger zone moment. I'm hearing that, where it's like, uh-oh, maybe something almost ended and you felt like you had to jump in and like kind of save the day with us, like coffin, whip. Some of you feel like maybe there was even some sort of, yes, it's like, I got to save the opportunity, the clover, the whip, the coffin. There is a moment where you say, I don't want to assume that this is what's going on. I heard that as well. Oh, interesting. The bear in reverse, the snake upright. There's something, maybe even it's something financial. Let's clear it. Something even physical though. Some of you here, you might feel like you need to kind of call something out, like maybe even in a family setting. It's a matter of protecting the union. I hear that. I hear it in this way. Or there's something, yeah, it could even be financially. The Nine of Pentacles reverse, Queen of Swords upright. Some of you were recently in a separation, and I feel like you feel that you need to handle the situation wisely. Nine of Cups in reverse, the Fool upright. For some, maybe you felt like someone was your twin flame and they might not have been. I'm hearing that as well. Ten of Pentacles in reverse, Six of Cups in reverse. I'm hearing whatever is guided, whatever is meant to be. Let's clear the energy. Seven of Cups in reverse, Temperance in reverse. Let's click on the left side of the body. Oh no, you had a very, this is something very toxic for some. You have to get out of this space. This is for some of you. It's something that's not healthy. It's not helping you. I'm hearing that and you know it. Some of you realize that it's not worth trying. I hear that. Like something got very, very kind of, something got kind of dark here. The Star in reverse, the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Emperor in reverse, the Knight of Swords in reverse. It's like you felt you were trying to save the conversation and it's like it was almost impossible. Like something was just going downhill at a certain point and you realize I cannot save it. For some of you though, I'm getting that there is a moment where you have to really think like, yeah, what is your priority? With the coffin upright, like if you are ending something here, there could be something here that is necessary to remember. I hear that as well. Maybe you want to sort of even like show appreciation. So how many of you know what this is referring to? It's kind of interesting. It's coming through in the Twin Flame stack. Let's clear the energy around. Let's get here a Celtic cross. Yeah. Something was not right. I feel like you had to point it out. Like, hey, excuse me, like this is not right. I'm hearing that whip upright in the current state, clover, the ship, the cross and the advice, the fish in the energetic pathway. In the near future is the Star upright. Some of you, let's clear it. No, there's something you need to call out. It's like a toxic energy even. We have the Star upright in the near future. Maybe this is you with your partner. Like you kind of want to like maybe help them. It could be something with their business or even with their company. I hear that. Or something with their family or something. It's like you felt the need to call it out. I hear it like this. I'm hearing, oh, she's calling me. And the theme is the anchor. Some of you might want assistance in the space and you might decide to sort of seek a third party assistance. I see that. Maybe with, I don't know, this seems a little bit kind of, but your November reading was dramatic. Oh my God, your extended November 15th, 31st, Gemini. Yeah, that reading was intense. Yeah, that reading was really, really intense. Yeah. You guys have to call this out. It's like, hey, I know what you're saying. Like, stop that. You know, there's something here that's not an appropriate influence. Maybe even this can even be you with a child. I'm hearing that. Take it as you will. You know, the messages when they need to come through, they'll come through. But let's get any further sort of messages. Let's see here. I want to pull. Let's do a monthly. Some of you feel that you cannot trust somebody anymore. Maybe you gave them the so-called benefit of the doubt. We have the Rider coming through in October. November, something got kind of silly or diluted. The clouds in reverse. In December is when I feel you're going to really clear the air with this connection even. Maybe for some of you here, you realize that something was kind of going sideways or like somebody was getting the wrong idea. For some of you, it's very interesting because I'm getting that I feel like it could be like the partnership stack if you were to not call something out here publicly. Like, I feel somebody maybe starts to just kind of get the feeling like, hey, like, is there something kind of going on here, like with so-and-so, with the fox coming through upright? I feel like the sooner you call this out, the better, because that could turn into a cycle possibly. Yeah, it's like, hey, I just want to make sure like that's not what you're thinking here, you know? And so for some of you, you had to really call this out. The fox upright. I'm not sure, you take it as you will. Anchor in reverse, leading out of the clouds in reverse. This is something you had to clear, maybe in relation to this person. Yeah, you had to get brave maybe to say it the way you really felt it. Like, this is a little awkward, but I need to say it. You know, maybe for example, somebody was having was something going on, maybe even like with a coworker. I'm feeling some tumbling in the sacral chakra. Maybe even somebody was talking to someone's family member. Like, there was something going on, maybe like gossip or something. This is inappropriate. I hear that. 6 of Pentacles in reverse, according to somebody. So I feel like you definitely kind of you nipped it in the bud. This is for some of you. You cut to the chase of it. This is more. Yeah, and you kind of said, hey, this is at least you should know that this is my standard. With the 6 of Pentacles in reverse in October, 3 of Wands in reverse, and there could have been third-party assistance in that, and this came through in your reading in the general video. So 3 of Wands in reverse, the general video, your November 15th, 31st of the month reading. 3 of Wands in reverse, Emperor in reverse, pulling monthly with the tarot. Yeah, I feel like you suspected something. You're like, is this what's going on? And then I feel like you called it out. For some of you, you called it out, and you maybe even gave an ultimatum, and you said, hey, like, I'm going to be completely out of this, like, if this is what's going on here. 8 of Cups in reverse, yeah, let's clear the energy. Lovers in the theme. Somebody maybe was like, I feel like you had to come out and kind of call it out so clearly. So let's get into the next sign. Thank you for tuning in, you guys. Always remember, take it in your way. And let's see, we're going to read on... Should we take a little break? Well, how about that? Although I really just don't want to break it up so many times. YouTube stops notifying viewers after like 3 readings, but that are posted in the same day. So, let's get into Aquarius single. I'm feeling guided to take a break. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a bit, all right, you guys? Love and light to you. We'll see you in a bit. Bye.